Jagex is working on a new survival game set in the Runescape universe, and as both a Runescape content creator and a huge fan of survival games, I think it's definitely worth chatting about. Whenever you're ready, grab your cup of tea, sit back, relax, and enjoy. This isn't the first time we've heard about this new Jagex title. For over 2 years, it has been known that Jagex has been developing an open-world survival game, but now it truly seems to be coming to life. This is evident by the fact that Jagex is currently recruiting players for its first ever closed alpha playtest. I wouldn't be too certain about the game releasing soon, as it can take several years to finalize development after a closed alpha. However, it's certainly not impossible for the game to be released next year. And something in me really wants it to release as soon as possible. I love survival games, and I would absolutely 100% jump into a survival game with a RuneScape theme without even thinking about it. For the RuneScape 3 players watching, it's definitely worth mentioning that one of our former RuneScape community managers, Doom, joined the team for the upcoming title as the senior community manager in June of this year. Fans of Doom, make sure to reach out to him on Twitter and bug him about the game's roadmap starting today. So what exactly do we know about this upcoming survival game? Well, we know two things for certain. The game will be set in the RuneScape universe, which, I'll be honest, is a little bit vague, but very clear at the same time, and it will be built, or is being built, in Unreal Engine 5. The latter has been apparent for quite some time. As of this video's recording, there are several job openings for Unreal Engine developers and environment artists listed on the Jagex website, highlighting the company's need for skilled professionals with expertise or experience in Unreal Engine 5. The game being set in the RuneScape universe comes across to me as the theme of the game being set in the medieval fantasy setting, where the architecture, clothing, and weaponry will be inspired by the Middle Ages, with a large sprinkle of fantasy, of course, for the different races, monsters, and magic. RuneScape is very much an open world game, and as such, I'm sure we can expect the world and gameplay to emphasize exploration and discovery without the use of loading screens. I also expect to see a broad range of environments in the form of biomes. The only major part of RuneScape I don't expect to see added is our player-driven economy. I mean, it's an open-world survival game that doesn't need to be an economy, let alone something like a trading system. At most, you'll be playing co-op with a friend or two. To be considered for the closed alpha playtest, you'll need to fill out a survey. It of course includes some of the more mundane questions like your PC specs, which they're probably asking to ensure they select a diverse group of playtesters with different PC configurations. This will definitely help them identify and resolve a wider range of issues. Perhaps a slightly more interesting question is the survey asking you if you've played any of the following survival games. And this got me interested immediately, because I'm seeing games here that I've played a lot of. Now, I'm not talking about Minecraft, because, well, pretty much everyone and their mother has literally played so much Minecraft. It's not even, it's if you haven't played Minecraft at this point, who are you? As for the other games on the list, I'll forgive you if you have not played or heard of them before, because they simply are not as popular and well known as Minecraft is. Now, I've played a significant portion of the games listed in this survey thoroughly, including some that haven't been mentioned, such as Stranded Deep, Subnautica, although I kind of understand why those aren't being mentioned here as the main survival games, because I think it's very unlikely that the game is going to be set in a sort of underwater environment. Now, it could be a coincidence, but I'm fairly certain they listed the survival games that they listed for a very good reason. It could be inspiration, it could be a little bit of creative copying. I wouldn't be able to tell you. My suspicion is that they're going to use and combine elements from these games as features in their upcoming title. If we look at the list, I think Valheim is the one game here that just, stands above the rest. It's very similar to RuneScape in terms of what it is. Well, it's set in a medieval Norse setting. There's leveling. Let's say you attack monsters using a mace. If you use that mace, you will do more damage with the mace as you level, but if you switch to a sword or a different weapon, let's say a halberd or a bow, you'll be dealing less damage because your character simply doesn't have the level and isn't used to fighting with that weapon. It also has mining, smithing, forging weapons, crafting stuff, and a way of progressing the game that requires you to kill wall bosses, which is just super satisfying. While Enshrouded feels a little less punishing to play, I do think it's similar and a fantastic example, just like Valheim, of what a good open-world survival game can be and should be. It has everything you could want from a survival game, and Jagex, I hope you're taking notes, including resource gathering, exploration, base building, very important one, boss fights, puzzles, and dungeons to explore. The shroud mechanic is also one of my favorite ways high-level content is locked off from low-level players, forcing you to complete some of the lower-level content before being able to access a high-level area, making sure you're at least somewhat prepared. That being said, the game is still incredibly punishing, just like Valheim. You'll get killed a lot in this game. I'm trying to think of reasons why the Sons of the Forest is listed here. I mean, yes, it's very much a survival game, but it's also a horror game. It's, you know, it is literally a horror game. Maybe because the upcoming survival game is going to feature some form of PvE raids. I mean, Conan Exiles is listed as well, and PvE raids are definitely a thing there. Valheim has PvE raids at random. This could mean that PvE raids will be a part of the upcoming survival game. In that case, I really hope that the base building system is good and there's options for defense, whether that's NPCs such as Conan Exiles, traps such as the forest, or tamed animals such as Ark Survival Evolved. I mean, it's hard to imagine, I'll be honest, but it does seem fun. At the end of the day, though, I think a good survival game boils down to 4 main things. 1, there needs to be a sense of danger. I mean, it is a survival game. This could be in the form of monsters or PvE raids, environmental dangers such as seasons and realistic weather. Think freezing in the winter or using more water, being dehydrated in the summer and so on, and not being able to do your farm runs. You know, farming, I mean, not farm runs. We're not playing RuneScape here. 2, exploration needs to matter and feel satisfying. It needs to be necessary for progression. There needs to be, you know, immersive sound, stunning visuals, varied biomes, plants, resources, and different monsters, not just reskins. Please, Jagex, do not reskin monsters if we're looking at Area A, which is level 5, and Area B, which is level 10. If the boar, spider, whatever has a different color, that ain't it. That's lazy. That's just, ugh. 3, a good base building system. This could be tied into general progression. There could be technology advancement. There needs to be options for aesthetics. There needs to be options to manipulate the environment, being the floor, the ground, and of course defensive structures if PvE raids are a thing. 4, there needs to be a solid skill or leveling system for it to feel a little bit like RuneScape. If it's similar to Valheim's, I honestly wouldn't complain. I think that works fine, although a more RPG-related approach, such as Enshrouded, could also work, where you have skill points and attributes and that kind of stuff, and you're able to unlock combos. That's, you know, that could be fun as well. They can make the combat exciting and interesting. It doesn't have to be, you know, RuneScape Legacy combat. There can be skills. Now, a little bit of story and lore can't hurt, although personally, I don't think this is as important for an open-world survival game, especially if the game isn't lacking in the other departments I just mentioned. Sadly, at the current point in time, all we can do is guess. As far as I know, there are no screenshots or videos of the game yet, and no confirmed release date, as confirmed by Mod Doom. Now, RS Unreleased did share a couple of leaked images from what seems to be a different Jagex title on Twitter. Now, these images could be related to the upcoming survival game, although one of the mods that moved from the RuneScape 3 team to this upcoming survival game as game designer mentioned these being wireframes and mock-ups for a different Jagex project called Aftermath, which was canned years ago. So, how about you? Are you excited for this upcoming unannounced open-world RuneScape-themed survival game? And what do you want to see in this game? Let me know down in the comments below. Catch you guys in the next one. Peace.